Hey YouTubers, this is Alex from 24hourpc.com bringing you another review of a PC gaming product. This time we're going to review the much anticipated and very expensive Razer DeathStalker Ultimate. Now, this has been pretty much the talk and the flagship of Razer as far as their keyboard lines. And a lot of things that make this keyboard appealing to the masses is the overall look of it. It's got nice styling. It's got decent functions. The 4.5 LCD screen with the 10 programmable keys that you can set up to your applications. Now, with this keyboard, you get multiple colored LED backing, so you can change it to whatever color, even custom colors if you want. You can use the 4.5 screen as a trackpad. Razer's dynamic tactile keys, which are basically chiclet style keys. Fully programmable keys on the fly with macro recording, which is going to go basically into here with your macro recording button right here. You have your dedicated gaming mode, which as far as your gaming, you can lock that in. A little light's going to pop up on the key itself. It'll basically keep you from backing out of your game, opening up a Windows function, or anything to that extent. Anti-ghosting for only 10 simultaneous keys, as opposed to Corsair standard 20. And the fixed wrist pad, which has this little rubber coating, kind of a weird grippy thingy, which is, as you can see, fingerprint and a dirt magnet. It's a pretty solid keyboard as far as build quality, but there are a lot of things that I don't like about this keyboard. Now, granted, I'm already biased to a certain extent because I'm coming from a Corsair K90 and soon to be a Corsair K95, which are mechanical keys, switching over to these chiclet keys. I will say that as far as response is concerned, I'm not a fan. The travel, the keys are barely raised above the frame, which for me and a lot of people that I've spoken to about this keyboard, as well as on the forums, it's more of a laptop setup. If I wanted a laptop, I would have went out and I would have purchased their Switchblade laptop, gaming laptop, or whatever they call it. A lot of things that really stand out to me as far as flaws in the design, such as these 10 application-based keys, they kind of give you a double vision effect because of the glare from the actual LCD key itself bouncing off of the clear plastic up front. It gives you that holographic image setup and kind of give you vertigo if you stare at it long enough. Now, a lot of good things about this keyboard, as to you can actually check your email, your Facebook, your Twitter, you can watch YouTube videos all from here, and we'll do this for the time being. You can watch your most popular videos. It gives you all the options up here for your home, favorites, most viewed, subscriptions, and so on and so forth. And you hit this key right here, it'll take you back to your original screen. Or you can open up your Facebook and it'll already load all the information that you have on there. Let's get out of that. Gmail, your Twitter, all basically works the same. You can also do your macro recording in your gaming mode directly from that board. You use the internet option if you want. It usually immediately takes you to the Razer page. Nice Razer, very nice. Also a stopwatch and the number pad, because obviously you know and you can see there's no number pad anywhere on this keyboard. I found using the number pad a little awkward. I've put about put a lot of hours into this keyboard so far, and it's still very difficult to get used to just a touchscreen, inputting your numbers. Which means that yes, you're going to have to check on your screen, your monitor, to see if you input the numbers or if it registered your touch. That's not really my thing. I like to be able to hit the key, feel the key engage on a mechanical keyboard, and know that that number went in, and I don't have to look up at my monitor. So, we'll get out of this for a second. We'll also take you to the other options of the screen. 3 fingers, if you swipe across, well, usually doesn't do it on the first shot. This will load some more apps. Basically, it's taking you to the second page of the applications, where you have your media, basically a gaming stopwatch, your settings, functions, and so on and so forth. All basically things that most hardcore gamers can do without. Now obviously you have your 2 buttons right here, which makes it more laptop mouse pad orientated than anything else. Now what I see with this keyboard, aside from some of the good features, is a lot of things that Razer should have taken into consideration that us gamers really want. Okay. First off, the actual keys themselves. Okay. We want something that's going to be quick, snappy, responsive, and be able to handle what we're giving it. With these keys, you have to really get in there to push it, you know. And then since you're so low to the frame, it just doesn't give you that raised effect. Like you're laying your hand flat across and I'm covering all kinds of keys. So if I'm up here and this part of my hand actually hits an Alt key or a Windows key and I'm not in gaming mode, guess what? I just backed out of my game. It also takes up 2 USB ports, which is common with most gaming keyboards. My Corsairs, same thing. But it also has the USB ports on the back, so that's not really too huge of an issue. Gold-plated terminals, braided cable, as with most Razer devices, and it runs the Razer Synapse 2.0 as well. Now we're going to get into the software in a little bit. I'm kind of let down by Razer's lack of attention to gamers' needs. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the applications, you see Team Fortress, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, so on and so forth, which, you know, as far as that's concerned, these are the apps that go into the trackpad, into the 10 buttons as far as configuration. Cool, they look nice, but there's a lot of good games that they missed. And the apps aren't available anywhere except for Razer. I think they should have put a little bit more thought into what they were going to put into the software design on this side of the keyboard, because there's no Black Ops. Now granted, you will see some people over here with custom apps or just a photo of Black Ops, but there's no Infinity Ward, there's no Treyarch, there's nothing to that extent. I mean, really what you're doing is you're getting the fancy schmancy and nothing really game orientated. I mean, most gamers, we start playing our games and we don't care who's emailing us, what's going on Facebook, and so on and so forth. We're into the game. So this really becomes irrelevant in my world, and most of real hardcore PC gamers' worlds too. So with that being said, as far as keyboard and long duration, plus it's very uncomfortable. I mean, having to have your fingers really raised up, you know, just to make sure you don't hit any of the other keys. The spacing on the keys, if you look at the spacing between these keys and then you look at the spacing between the Corsair keys, that's huge. That's extremely tight. There's going to be a lot of accidental button hitting. I don't care how good you are on a keyboard, unless you're a typist or you work in a courthouse. You know, it's just not going to be functional. If you're into this sort of thing, you know, with the touchpad and being able to access all your stuff and the cool doodads and everything like that, then this is the keyboard for you. It is built correctly, I will say that. But if you're not into that, if you're into meat and potatoes, raw gaming, good quick response time, you know, and just overall durability, then this really isn't going to be the keyboard for you. It's durable, yes, but it doesn't really have the needs that we look for, that I look for at least. and this is my honest opinion, Razer puts out tremendous products, and I'm a big fan of Razer. I got their mouse pad, I got a Naga Molten Edition, which I can't play without. You know, I picked up the Nostromos, which I already ordered an Orb Weaver. But when it comes to this, they shit the bed, you know. And for the price tag, I mean, you can find them anywhere between $249 all the way up to $300 and change. That's kind of expensive. That's really expensive, actually, because it's not giving me anything that I want. You're still only giving me 5 macro keys, quick access that I don't have to switch between banks. You know, you're giving me a low profile key style, which is more laptop orientated than anything else, which I don't game on a laptop. I don't like that. You're giving me chiclet keys. They should have went mechanical on this. If they would have went mechanical and raised the keys up a little bit, it would have stood a chance as far as where I'm coming from and my personal gaming needs. And I spoke to a lot of gamers. They don't like the tight keys. They don't like them real tight too. They don't really like them low to the frame either. And all of this is that's just show. So, with that being said, that's pretty much going to end our review, part 1 at least. The next review is going to be the software and the modding that you can do to this keyboard to more personalize it to your own personal specifications. So with that being said, PC gamers, game hard.